Hi guys, I hope you are well this evening, and again I will be posting the link to this video on PTSD Our Place, and it's really nice to have you over on my YouTube channel anyway. It's really lovely. So you can always have a look and see if there's anything else that's interesting to watch. Talk about all sorts of different things. But tonight, finally, I don't know if I should show you. Oh, it's going to go funny. What's in a trend? Okay, so this is my latest blog on All Silver Cloud's website. So if you just go to the blog section, I think this is the last one that I put up. So it says what's in a fitness trend, but it's actually what's in a trend, in general. So the things that I talk about, we can take the advice and apply it in different ways. But because it was our fitness takeover at All Silver Clouds in April, that's why I've kind of said fitness. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because this I found quite amusing. Let me put it over there so it's not shining on me. I've heard this from a few people, and I think I may have mentioned it before, but just in case. When I tell people, they say to me, so what do you do as a fitness instructor and as a lifestyle coach? And I will say that, I'm very much in the mental physical balance area, but I suppose you'd say mental health in terms of supporting people who, like myself, have PTSD. And, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I'm on the action side. So I'm on the, healthy activities, mindset, different things like that. So that's kind of my area, which I've crafted since I've been diagnosed with PTSD. So PTSD is at the heart of everything I do. So there's the heart, and then everything I do is going around the heart, which is the PTSD. So if I can be a coach to someone else with PTSD, that's the dream, basically, because the business of All Silver Clouds has come from that need, that diagnosis, something I had to come to terms with, and I had to think, how can I work with it? So that's really the philosophy. It's, how can we work with PTSD? How can we manage it? How can we make the best of some of the great qualities that come through with the condition? So our strength, our vision of things, the way we connect to the world, our emotional range, the lack of emotional range sometimes. So the hypersensitivity, the disassociation. So I was quite disassociated this weekend. I'm not today. I think I'm a bit more lively today. So, that's all these kind of things, that's basically the heart, that's where it's come from. So I've talked to a few people, and they said to me, mental health, PTSD, it's trending. Oh, you're on the trend there. And I'm just like, it's not like I didn't start doing this because I realized that during lockdown, people were becoming more conscious of their mental health. No, I was doing this before then. This is a direct reaction to my diagnosis and the way that I've managed it. And if I could find someone like myself, or I was looking for someone like myself when my journey started. So I'm taking the feedback from someone who has PTSD and thinking about what I could do that would be, really useful for that journey of like calming down and, just finding your center again. So that's what's important to me. I didn't just see that something was trending and said, oh, that's a bit of me. I you know, I had to come out, in fact, you know, we talk about stigma and mental health awareness. I had to come out and say, oh, I've got PTSD. You know, I had to say that to people. I couldn't just say, oh, I've got an illness, or keep it covered, don't tell anyone. I had to say, this is what I've got, this is why I jumped, this is why I can't sit in this room, this is why I need to leave now, this is why I wear sunglasses indoors. All of these things, you know, I couldn't just say, yeah, it's just a quirk. Like, it was like, no, well, actually, I can't look at the lights. And so to me, it was just such a strange thing for someone to say to me, oh yeah, it's like trending, that's so great. Because also, you know, there's a lot of like trust that we need to have when we're, you know, sharing our PTSD with somebody, and we want to spend time with them. For example, someone like me doing fitness, you have to feel, you know, safe and comfortable. And for me to sit and say, you know, I understand, tell me about that, okay, you know, and listen, is quite different to me saying, oh, this is a trend, right, I need to get on top of that. But then having not having the approach and the empathy, and in my case, lived experience, because I've chosen not to be, you know, a therapist. I've chosen not to be a you know, a doctor in this area, or, you know, my field is arts, and that's my field, and I'm very happy with that, because I think people with different mental health conditions, and everybody, it's just not everybody sees the connection for themselves. But art, so I was, you know, very much visual art, sculpture, installation, but also music and performance as well. All of these things are integral to us being able to, you know, really explore what's going on with ourselves and express ourselves, where words might not be sufficient one day, where you don't have, your body's not moving in the same way, so you might want to express that in your art or your performance. For me, in my performance as a fitness instructor now, I'm not a million miles away from what I was doing, because there's a performance element for me. I was only watching a video I did the other day, and I did a tick that I didn't even notice I'd done. So other people sometimes think those ticks are like part of the move, or, you know, if I'm really choreographed and there's something, I go, yeah, and they, you know, it's just an action. But actually, no, that's a tick. That was a tick. That was not planned. So yeah, I just think it's really funny just to have that conversation with someone. And it's absolutely fine that they see it as a trend. You know, I mean, technically, if you go on to watch TV, if you look at more of the health warnings they're putting out on TV, you know, like they might say halfway through a show, now we just want to think about mental health, or seeing as it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and you hear more celebrities talking about it as well. And I think we're taking people more seriously now, because there was a tendency to say, oh, you're a celebrity. But the reality is, if you're a celebrity, I mean, the pressure on you in terms of body image, presentation, delivering what people want to see, still being able to deliver what people want to see, when you might be 5 or 10 years away from that now, but people want that song, or they want to hear that line again. You know, it's just incredible pressure. So actually, I'm not surprised that, you know, half the people in Hollywood turn around and say that they've got conditions and medications because of the immense pressure. And, you know, it's rather gone off topic from my article now. Well, it hasn't, because we're talking about trend, and how I found that just quite strange for someone to say that. Well, not just one person, but to say that to me, because, you know, obviously I'm set up with PTSD very much as my motivator. But having said that, it does make sense, because there is more outlet for it, you know, and good for him that he hadn't experienced a condition like this. Like, I'm glad. I don't want people to go through this. So, you know, his naivety and what I was trying to say, in a way, it means that he's, you know, hopefully not, you know, had this kind of experience. And that, I think, is a blessing, you know, because it's a very challenging experience. So, okay, so I mean, I'm not going to read this out to you guys. It's up on the website, so you can read it if it interests you. But I just want to say, so what's in a trend? And I'm talking about an exercise trend, and you know, it's about fancy editing, fashion, strict diet schedule, constant alerts, Instagram guru, and then what happens? You know, we kind of fall off the, you know, we lose our enthusiasm, things get tough, we put up walls. Okay, so that's not the bit. So I've said no, a trend doesn't have to be that. So a trend can be a movement. On a personal level, it can be a change of direction in your lifestyle. This word trend has become synonymous with the daily social media digest. And that's where they sped up the clock on it. A trend on Twitter can last for a day or just a few hours. But if you embrace a trend and truly integrate it into your life, then it can be the start of a journey. And so then I talk about how do you realize if you're kind of caught in a trend spiral, and if something's just, you know, a fad alert, you know, get this piece of equipment, it's going to change your exercise life, or, you know, that's that kind of stuff. No. But I talk about how you avoid that, getting caught up in that, the benefits of a trend. So as I've mentioned, you know, movement, and you also get to learn if you really like an activity. So you might move on with the trend because you didn't really enjoy the activity. But, you know, essentially what I say in here, and what I was kind of saying with, it can be a change in direction in terms of your lifestyle, is that if we can ground the experience, then it becomes something more. And I think with PTSD, we're always looking to ground the experience where we can, because we need to make sense of why this happened to us. And if there's some positive kind of aspects to it, be it being able to understand someone else and really feeling that connection with them, or that your artwork is just, you know, it's just coming out of you, like, you know, all these ideas, which is kind of, that's what's happened to me. So I'm actually really grateful for that. I'm also really grateful for the fact that with PTSD, I may have mentioned this before, but I don't say, oh, I plan to do this one day, I'm going to put that on the list, I'm going to put that on the list. I literally say, I want to do this. Okay, I've got the equipment. Right, let's do it. And there's very little questioning that goes into it, very little questioning. So there has been some benefits, but I've had to ground my experience. I mean, I'm going to be continually grounding it, but I'm always trying to kind of, you know, have a reason why this happened to me. And I think the business is really interesting, you know, for me, with All Silver Clouds, because that's a signal of grounding. That's a sign of me trying to make something out of what's happened to me, and also respecting what's happened to me. Because as I've said, exercise is something that really, really gets through to me, really, really gets through to me more than anything, as well as writing as well. But I think the exercise, is just something about it, because you're expressing yourself, but you're also opening up the body from panic and, you know, that state as well. So that's an example of me trying to ground the experience and say, hey, I didn't choose to leave the city, I didn't choose to go through this, but look how much joy I get out of this activity. Isn't it wonderful that I've pushed myself and become certified so that I can actually teach other people? That's kind of grounding it, you know what I mean? That's kind of saying, something's come out of it. It's not all like, it's not all, everything's not just come to an end. There are new seeds that are starting to pop up, you know, they're kind of springing up now. And so, yeah, I mean, that's really all I want to say about a trend. And I took a long time to talk about it, but I think there's other things that have come up in my last few videos that were important, like that idea of the physical and mental reaction to the anxiety and trauma. So yeah, if you find an activity that you really want to do, you know, you can hop on the trend, get involved with all the information, the enthusiasm that everyone's got for it. But when people kind of slow down and stop talking about it, and if someone even says to you, "Oh, are you still doing that?" Just be like, "Yeah, because I'm really good at it and I really enjoy it." Or just I really enjoy it. You don't have to be really good at something. It's about what you get out of the activity. It's about what you take from it. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to create a masterpiece. And I think a lot of us really have to get over that block. I really had to get over that block because I worked in an academic environment, writing in an academic way, trying to think about how I constructed that for the audience. I wasn't expressing myself so much. So it's been a breath of fresh air to actually write. I've got my own blog and I can write whatever I like and I can take whatever angle I want to. And what I'd love to do as well is take your angles as well. If there's any area you want me to research, any area you want me to write an article about, tell me and I'll do it and I can put it on the All Silver Clouds blog. And if you want a right to reply because you thought you haven't covered it all or I've got more to say, then you can have a guest blog on All Silver Clouds with your reply or with you extending the discussion. So I think that'd be quite nice actually. So yeah, if anyone wants to suggest something that you want me to write or you want me to write a poem, and you can completely deconstruct it and tell me it's dreadful and write a great one in response, then I'm absolutely up for it. So just tell me. Okay, I think we've covered what's in a trend. And with PTSD, we're not trending, although we can take advantage of the fact that people are listening more to us now, so we can express ourselves a bit more. But we've got each other, so we understand each other, and there's different symptoms that we all join on and say, oh yeah, I know that one, or you know, I've seen that one before, but I didn't have it so bad. And we're grounding. We're not just trending, we're grounding. We are grounding our experience. Okay, I'm going to sign off. I hope you have a really good day tomorrow. Even if it's just okay, I hope you have an okay day. And you look after yourself. It's Mental Health Awareness Week. And you know what I've been saying? I've been saying, you first, look after yourself. Don't be mean to other people, but think about yourself. And when you're in a good place, you're in a good place for everyone. All right then, guys. I'll see you later, probably tomorrow. All right, bye.